Alrighty. Now, seeing how we're kind of talking about having fun with text and changing it, let's try something different. I'm going to take a rectangle here, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. Then I'm going to get some text, and I am going to put text in a box. As we can see, that's way too big right now, so let's take it down to 1 inch and see what we get. And maybe still a little bit big. We'll go 0.75. Okay. Now I can do it like that to put text inside this box. But you notice how I had to do all the sizing and everything with it. I have to make all my changes. I have to make my margins. I have to do all that. An easier way to do it is I'm going to select this box now, and I'm going to come to the Text in a Box tool. And I'm going to click on that there. I have my box selected. Now, if you watch my box, as I type, the letters are going to fit themselves to this box. Automatically. So our settings right now, we're using a true type font. We're not using bold or italic. We have it centered. It's telling us our bounding box dimensions, which is the rectangle out here, and our bounding box height. Now we can have a margin of none, which now my text fits from edge to edge, from end to end within that box. And notice it's dictated by the font. If this was a tall, thin font, I'll get bigger letters in there. If it was a short, fat font, it's going to be much smaller to fit it in. So as you see, as I take a wide margin, a normal margin, no margin. So we'll keep it at normal. Actually, let's keep it at none. Now we'll really have some fun. Now I can stretch this. I can stretch my characters to fill it up. And you can do the same with the horizontal. I could stretch the kerning to make it fill. I can stretch the characters. But horizontally we have no margins, so we're good to go. So if we had a tall font that was filling it up, it would keep it in here. We could actually stretch it out this way. So it works both ways. We're going to kind of, let's keep it like it is right now. But I think what I'm going to do is make this all caps. Okay, so now everything's caps. And while we're still a font, I'm going to come up here to my Edit Text Spacing. I'm going to click on that. And as we come over here, you see where I'm looking at? Right there. Now again, my arrows are pointing towards each other, and that's not what I want. I want them to move away from each other, so I'm going to hold down my Shift key. My arrows change. And I think maybe one more. There. I think that's going to look good. I'll keep it at that. Okay. Notice I got my text in a box here. I'm going to select both of these. And now it went back to where it's supposed to be. It kept my spacing, but it fit it back in that box. Okay. I just had to reset it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our Distort tool, which is here in our transforms. And we're going to click on that. And we're going to select these two here. So we've got our box and our text selected. Now, our box is going to be our bounding box right over here. See where it says bounding box? That's going to be our bounding box. Here it's telling us that our curves are good. The vectors are valid for us. And I am going to apply this. So as I apply it, watch what happens. All right. So we did see a change here. Now what we are going to do is notice now it looks like I'm in node editing mode. So if I take this and I move it way over here, look what happens if I move it way down here. Look what happens. That gives us kind of a 3D look. And now let's get out of that. Go back to where we were. Okay, so we're in node editing mode. And remember, if we come over here and we get our little squiggly line there and we push the B key, we change that line into a Bezier curve. I'm going to do that for all 4 lines. Okay, remember I can right click and go to Bezier, or I can hover over it, click the B key, and I will click the B key here. Now I have handles here, 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 and here. So I can click, and I'm going to drag this one up like that. And I'm going to drag this one up like that. And I'm going to take my bottom one, and I want it up like that. And I want this bottom one up like that. And we'll move this one on the side like that. And we'll move this one on the side like that. Now notice it makes it follow the arcs that are on my bounding box. So that's pretty neat. So you get this really neat distorted text, but it has dimension to it. It has curvature to it. Notice the B looks like it's kind of rounded, like it's rocking. Okay, so once I get that the way I want it, I can bake that. And once I bake this, I can delete this box and just have my text. Okay, so I'm going to bake. I'm going to click off deselect. Then I'm going to click on just my box, and I'm going to delete my box, and now my text will stay like this. But you notice, see what happens when I click on my text? So what does that tell us? Our text is no longer a font. These are now curves. So we can't use our text spacing tool anymore. Okay. If we want to move this, let's say I select this, see it only selects what I grab. So I need to grab that whole thing, and I'm going to come over here to group, and I'm going to group it. It changes to a solid magenta line. And now I can move it wherever I want, much easier, like that, or I can just center it. Okay. Now you may be thinking to yourself, where does this come in handy? Why would I ever need to use this? And one of the ways that you would use this is on a banner. You think about it, a banner that is kind of arced and then it wraps around over here and then wraps back out, or a waving flag that you wanted to put text on. You just follow the edges, make your bounding box follow the waves in your flag as it's waving, and your text will follow that. And then once you get it done, you bake your text, delete your box. Now you have your lettering, which is now curves, will follow that flag and look like it's waving with the flag. It looks like it's actually part of it. Okay.